The melancholy that stains your family's legacy is not a curse to be endured, but the only pigment honest enough to reveal the beauty hidden beneath generations of performative stoicism. And true healing requires not bleaching out the sorrow, but learning to wield it as a brush, until grief becomes the medium through which you finally see yourself clearly. In Bleu, Authoress Masterpiece delivers a contemporary romance that transforms the tortured artist trope into a luminous exploration of masculine vulnerability and chromatic reclamation, proving that in dynasties defined by emotional suppression, liberation isn't found in escaping the palette, it's forged in the radical act of painting your truth when tradition demands you remain monochrome. This isn't merely another angsty tale with brooding heroes. It's a psychologically precise narrative where every stroke of blue feels like both confession and defiance. Consent to create is negotiated through self-trust rather than assumed validation, and love means honoring the man beneath the masterpiece when the world demands he remain a symbol. From the first turpentine and tears narration, listeners are immersed in a world where color is language and presence is the only true medium. Perfect for fans of emotionally intelligent contemporary fiction and stories where male tenderness defies genre expectations, this audiobook serves up atmospheric ache, relentless emotional honesty, and protagonists whose journey from blocked creator to sovereign partner resonates with anyone who's ever been told their pain was too messy for public consumption. When painter Bleu Langston returns to his family's estate after a devastating career setback, he expects solitary exile, not to discover the unfinished canvases in his studio mirror the exact grief he's buried beneath years of performative brilliance, and the art restorer Alara Vance, hired to preserve the collection, carries wounds that bypass his defenses to create space for a connection that defies familial protocol. But as they navigate crumbling plaster and buried attractions, Bleu realizes this restoration isn't about preservation, it's about recalibration. Masterpiece avoids reducing Bleu to tragic genius or Alara to nurturing muse. Instead, she crafts a relationship rooted in radical reciprocity within constraint, where trust is earned through honoring boundaries even as desire blurs them, and where intimacy emerges from seeing each other beyond assigned roles. The audiobook narration amplifies this emotional alchemy, capturing Bleu's disciplined composure fracturing into genuine receptivity, and Alara's quiet competence revealing warmth beneath professional vigilance. You don't just hear their bond deepen, you feel the seismic shift of two souls learning that some masterpieces can only be completed when you stop performing for an audience. What elevates Bleu beyond typical artist romance fare is its nuanced portrayal of creativity as somatic practice rather than abstract inspiration. Bleu isn't merely overcoming block, he's confronting how art world culture taught him to equate worth with productivity, challenging the notion that safety requires emotional erasure. Alara doesn't unlock him through charm, she creates sanctuary where his contradictions can exist without judgment, honoring his autonomy even as her own walls crumble. Their relationship evolves through acts of radical reciprocity, sharing silences during Dawn's studio sessions that bypass performance, establishing rhythms that protect both creative integrity and emotional safety, and defending each other from relatives who mistake evolution for indulgence. Supporting characters add vital texture, fellow artists whose loyalty encodes suppressed grief, estate staff whose discretion carries intergenerational weight, even the manor itself, rendered as living archive whose sunlit studios absorb decades of unspoken bargains. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core truth. In economies built on extraction, tenderness is technique, and presence is the only sustainable resource. Even the romance mechanics serve thematic depth, with color mixing mirroring emotional attunement, and restoration processes becoming metaphors for earned renewal. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive sensory descent into creative intimacy. The narrator embodies Bleu and Alara with remarkable distinction. Bleu's voice carries weathered intelligence laced with dawning sovereignty, while Alara's tone holds steady warmth beneath layers of hard-won composure, making their chemistry palpable even during quiet exchanges. Sound design enhances atmosphere without overwhelming immersion. Distant brushstrokes miking temporal rhythm, rain against skylights during vulnerable confessions, the hushed scrape of palette knives syncing with breath during moments of clarity, all anchor emotional stakes in sensory reality. Pacing mirrors the cadence of artistic recovery, deliberate during reflection and foundational bonding, then surging with urgency as external pressures collide with internal breakthroughs. Whether you're commuting through urban chaos or sitting in twilight solitude, the audiobook creates a portable sanctuary where slowness feels sacred and embodiment feels lifeline. It's storytelling as somatic validation, transforming passive listening into active participation in a love story that honors both duty and desire. Ultimately, Bleu redefines contemporary romance by centering male emotional labor within creative frameworks. It satisfies genre cravings for satisfying chemistry and hopeful resolution, while delivering substantive commentary on artistic trauma, feminine agency, and the radical act of building partnerships based on mutual recognition rather than rescue. As Book 1 in the Langston Brothers series, it establishes a foundation of emotional authenticity that promises depth throughout the saga, yet stands confidently as a complete emotional odyssey. If you've ever wondered whether love can coexist with brokenness, or if true strength requires embracing what others dismiss, this audiobook will affirm that sometimes the most powerful act is simply allowing yourself to create. Press play, pick up the brush, and prepare to believe that even in landscapes shaped by loss, hearts still find ways to paint. Your next favorite romance isn't waiting in perfect masterpieces. It's waiting in the brave, trembling choice to honor the mess.